Good morning, everybody. My name is Mike Fotivec. I work for Top Grade Molds. We're located here in Mississauga. We've been in business since 1965. We manufacture molds for industrial packaging, so anything from large totes, pails, to small containers, yogurt containers, you name it. We're kind of a one-stop shop, so anything from full design, part design, engineering, manufacturing, product testing, and even production as well. So I grew up in Scarborough, went to a very large high school that had a very large technical wing. So at that wing we had automotive, we had woodworking, electrical, electronics, and believe it or not we had about 3 machine shops, and mostly manual, and I think one small CNC machine, and that was really high tech at the time. So that was in grade 9 when I got there. I was still part of the program with 5 years. Once I graduated from OAC, the only shop that was left there was the woodworking shop and the automotive. Everything else had been closed and converted to drama rooms. Unfortunately, technology just went by the wayside. And again, I'm not sure, we can argue all day as to why that happened, and whether it's lack of funding, support, or really just a push for, like you were saying, to go to university, because that's more important. And so you forgot about the trades. And unfortunately, that is that gap that we missed. I think we just dropped off, and we really need to kind of push that back, need to reintroduce people to the trades when it comes to being a tool maker. In our case, that is so key, and it's such a great job. It's a great career. I've been at Top Grade for almost 30 years. I started out actually high school kids. It's supported my whole life, my whole family, and it is a fantastic career. And people have to understand that. Young people have to understand that. I think if you want to make it attractive to the younger cohort to come into the industry, I think as companies we also need to work on things that are important to younger people. So let's say socially responsible things, like let's say recycling. One of the things we do spend a lot of time or a lot of money on R&D. So especially with the post-consumer resin now being mandated now to be used in packaging, that's a key part of it. And developing different processes, designs on how that's going to work. And that's something I got to say that Europe is probably light years ahead of us when it comes to that. And the things that interest them, technology, improving technology that we do. AI will definitely change things. And I think once really technology or automation and AI really lock hands, these are things that the younger people who are learning this in school now can bring this and bring this into our industries and help us improve ourselves as well too. So if you're an employer and you're open to change, which you should be really, bringing in younger people who have those ideas and welcoming those ideas, I think is going to be key too. And that's I think how you're going to bring people in, retain them, because now they have a vested interest. We all know if you want to, let's say, get buy-in from your employees, you can't just mandate you're going to make that change. And this is what you got to start doing. You got to bring them in and say, hey, this is something we want to do. Get your ideas, get their buy-in. And if they see that, they'll stick around. And interject too, you're absolutely right there too. Like going younger, going to the high school level even. I think most people, as a graduating grade 12, have no idea what they want to do. I'm sure if anyone has children, there's still very few do, put it that way. So yeah, starting at an early level, and I think that's almost like a playbook out of the European model, where a lot of companies will take these high school students, they'll bring them in, they'll start paying them. And then they'll put them through school. And again, they'll have a career with that company. So you're absolutely right. I think that's, even starting earlier is important. So with our company, there's really no formal relationship with any of the colleges, and there probably should be, really. But again, we try to reach out to key individuals, whether it be Hummer or Centennial, or usually when they have their graduates, we're saying, okay, well, send us a list of their resumes, so we could potentially hire them. But I think it's definitely something we're lacking. Employers may be reaching out and saying, hey, put us on a list there, or consider us for your students for a co-op placement or a work-term project or whatever it is, or for a tour of the facility, so they can see exactly what we have to offer. Again, not every company can do that, but there are a lot of companies that can. It doesn't have to be a daily thing, a monthly thing, but just that relationship where hey, we're here, we're available to help you, and hopefully you can send some graduates and some young talent our way as well. So this is like definitely my wheelhouse. I really see this being, part of our future, and it's hard to imagine, to replace that operator at a CNC machine and say there's going to be some robot running that way one day. How's he going to lift it up? How's he going to hook up the crane? How's he going to see that burr is there or whatever? But I think as technology improves and gets better and better, yeah, there might be humanoids, working in our factories one day, and that's scary to think because where do the people go? Where are the jobs going to go? Here we are talking about getting young people into the sector, and they're going to come in and you're going to replace them with AI. It's inevitable. It has to be. Again, we go, things 20 years ago said, oh, computers are not going to be able to do that, but they do. So I think it's definitely in our future. We are not something that we're implementing right now, but let's say simply CNC programming. You have a programmer there now sits at a PC, looks at the 3D. There's software now that can interpret, the drawings and create a tool path. Well, with AI now, what used to take several hours could be minutes or seconds. So that's the initial start of that implementation. We're not talking robots yet, but we're just talking about, faster computing, understanding of what we're working with, and being able to, shift on a fly as to, hey, this is different, I'll do it like this, But I think you'll always need those people behind it, kind of programming that or teaching that until you get to the point where really AI takes over and is learning on its own. So it's interesting, but very scary at the same time for some.